If you've got a Switch or a Switch 2 and you love racing games, this one's for you. We're counting down 15 of the best racers you can play on Nintendo's hardware right now. From kart chaos to full-on simulation. Let's get into it. Sonic Racing CrossWorlds is a kart racer built around 24 tracks where you race across land, water, and air all in the same lap. The big twist is travel rings, mid-race portals that warp the entire field into an alternate dimension called a CrossWorld for the second lap. The player in first gets to pick which portal everyone jumps through, so staying in the lead actually changes the whole race layout. You've got 23 Sonic characters to choose from, plus DLC guests like Joker, SpongeBob, Mega Man, and Pac-Man. The gadget system lets you customize your vehicle with up to 6 slots, choosing between offensive items, defensive setups, or pure speed boosts. Grand Prix mode pairs you against a rival racer across 4 race cups with a final track that mashes all 3 course types together. The Switch 2 version runs noticeably better than the base Switch port. It's chaotic, fast, and packed with personality. Hot Pursuit Remastered takes the 2010 original, sharpens it up visually, and drops it on Switch with all the DLC included. The concept is simple and brilliant. You either play as a street racer pushing exotic cars to their absolute limit, or you strap on the badge and become a cop trying to bust those same racers. Both sides have completely different tools. Racers get spike strips, EMP blasts, and turbo boosts. Cops get roadblocks, helicopter support, and their own EMPs. The campaign flips between both roles, and each event rewards you with bounty points that unlock new cars and gear. The handling is arcade through and through, drifty, fast, and super satisfying on long mountain roads. A standout auto-log system tracks your friends' times and constantly nudges you to beat them. It's not trying to simulate anything, it just wants you to feel fast, and it absolutely nails that feeling every single race. Before Fast Fusion came along, Fast RMX was the racer that Switch owners swore by. This is anti-gravity racing in the spirit of FZero and Wipeout, but built for Nintendo's platform. You're piloting a hovercraft at insane speeds through futuristic tracks that twist, loop, and tilt in every direction. The core mechanic is a color swap system. Each track has blue and orange boost pads, and you need to match your vehicle's active color to grab the speed boost. Hit the wrong color, and you slow down hard. It sounds simple, but at race speeds, it becomes a genuine reflex challenge. The game has 30 tracks spread across multiple difficulty tiers, and the harder leagues genuinely require you to master the system, or you won't finish. There's also a hero vehicle mode that strips away the color mechanic and dials the speed up even further for a purer, more brutal experience. Local and online multiplayer both work well. Cruis'n Blast is completely unhinged and knows it. This is an arcade port straight from the actual coin-op machine, and it brings that full sugar, zero apology energy to Switch. You're racing monster trucks, motorcycles, and outrageous custom vehicles through tracks that throw tornadoes, dinosaurs, and giant crabs at you mid-race. There's no simulation here, no tuning menus, no career mode in the traditional sense. You just pick a vehicle, pick a track, and blast through it. Boost pickups send you flying across jumps, and pulling off stunts in the air fills your meter faster. You unlock new vehicles and tracks by collecting keys scattered through races. The whole game runs at a locked 60 frames per second and looks clean on Switch. It's loud, colorful, completely over the top, and done in about 20 minutes per run. The appeal isn't depth, it's the pure, dumb fun of an arcade racer that doesn't pretend to be anything else. Gear.Club Unlimited. You manage a garage, buy cars, upgrade them with real performance parts, and take on championship events across a full career mode. The car list covers real licensed vehicles from brands like Ferrari, Bugatti, Koenigsegg, and Chevrolet. Each car handles differently, and upgrades genuinely change how they feel, improve your engine, tires, or suspension, and you'll notice it on the track. Races take place on point-to-point roads and circuit layouts, and the AI scales with your car's performance rating. The visuals aren't jaw-dropping, but they're solid for a Switch title, and the attention to car detail is legitimately impressive. You also build and upgrade your own garage facility between races, which adds a light management layer to the experience. It's not the deepest racer out there, but for Switch owners who wanted something closer to real cars and real tracks, this filled a gap that nothing else on the platform was touching at the time. FZero 99 is a free-to-play battle royale built on the original Super Nintendo FZero, and it's one of the most surprising games Nintendo has released in years. You and 98 other players race simultaneously on classic SNES tracks, all trying to survive. Your health bar goes down when you scrape walls or get hit, and if it hits 0, you're out. Boosting with your side rails to smash opponents and steal their energy is a core tactic, not just a bonus. The race gets thinner as players drop out, and making it into the final few requires you to balance aggressive driving with keeping yourself alive. You earn currency to customize your machine and unlock different color schemes across the classic FZero roster. New Grand Prix modes and additional track types have been added since launch. The online servers are generally active, and a single session takes only a few minutes, making it genuinely easy to dip in for a few races. Horizon Chase Turbo is a love letter to 80s and 90s arcade racing, specifically to old-school classics like Top Gear and Outrun. The whole game is built around that retro feel, from the flat-colored environments and simplified car designs to the way tracks are laid out as pure forward momentum with gentle hills and curves to navigate. You're not fighting physics, you're chasing the horizon, weaving through traffic, managing your fuel gauge, and nailing every corner to build and maintain your speed. There's a World Tour mode with over 100 races spread across countries inspired by real-world locations, a multiplayer mode that supports up to 4 players locally, and a tournament mode for extra challenges. The music is handled entirely by Barry Leach, who composed the original Top Gear soundtracks, and it sounds exactly like what you'd expect: upbeat, synthy, and perfectly in tune with the speed on screen. WRC10, the official game. This is an official World Rally Championship game that covers real drivers, real teams, and real rally events from across the globe. Stage-based rally racing means no circuits. Instead, you're flying down narrow dirt roads, gravel paths, and tarmac mountain passes as fast as you can, while a co-driver reads pace notes to prepare you for corners you can't yet see. The handling model rewards precision, proper braking points, and reading the surface changes. Get it wrong, and you're in a ditch. The career mode lets you run your own team across multiple seasons, managing budgets, hiring engineers, and developing your car between events. There's also a historical content pack celebrating 50 years of WRC, including classic cars and iconic stages from the championship's past. The Switch version isn't as sharp visually as the console counterparts, but the gameplay is faithful, and the rally experience translates well. Fast fusion is what happens when a small studio gets access to new hardware and goes all out. This is the Switch 2 launch title from Shinen Multimedia, and it runs at up to 4K 60 frames per second with HDR support. Genuinely one of the best-looking games the system has. The racing is anti-gravity, inspired by FZero and Wipeout, but the blue/orange color swap system from Fast RMX returns, where matching your ship's color to the boost pads on the track gives you a speed advantage, while mismatching actually slows you down. A new jump mechanic lets you launch your ship into the air, useful for grabbing floating boost orbs, crossing gaps, landing on opponents to spin them out, or finding hidden shortcuts. The fusion mechanic that names the game lets you combine any two ships to create a hybrid with merged stats, a blended design, and even a combined name. Every combination is tracked and rated. Before CrossWorlds, there was Team Sonic Racing, and this one does something genuinely different. Instead of every racer for themselves, this is built around 3-player teams, competing together on the same track. You share items with teammates, draft behind them to build a shared boost meter, and can revive a struggling teammate by driving close to them. The ult mechanic triggers when the team meter is full, transforming all 3 players into a buffed out state simultaneously, and reshaping how the final stretch of a race plays out. There are 15 characters across 5 teams from the Sonic universe, and each has a type, speed, technique, or power that changes how they interact with the track and items. The single-player mode includes a full story campaign, where team dynamics and rivalries are part of the narrative between races. Tracks are designed with team play in mind, meaning understanding which routes suit your character type actually matters. Mario Kart World is the Switch 2's flagship racer, and the biggest evolution the series has had in a long time. The whole game takes place in a single, interconnected open world. Every track flows into the next through roads and pathways you can actually drive between. Grand Prix mode has you racing through 4 connected courses in a rally-style run, with the paths between courses being part of the competition. Knockout Tour is the standout new mode. You race continuously through back-to-back stages, and if you don't place high enough at each checkpoint, you're eliminated. New mechanics include wall riding, rail grinding, and a feather item that lets you vault over incoming shells or discover hidden shortcuts. Up to 24 players race simultaneously, doubling the chaos of any previous Mario Kart. The roster has 50 characters, including wild newcomers like a cow, Goomba, and Charge and Chuck. A free roam mode lets you explore the open world between races at your own pace. Burnout Paradise Remastered brings the full open-world city from the 2008 original to Switch, and the entire thing holds up better than it has any right to. You drive to Paradise City, a big, seamlessly connected city and mountain region, taking on events that trigger when you pull up to any intersection and rev your engine. Road rage events have you smashing opponents into barriers until their cars are totaled. Race events are point-to-point with no set route. You navigate the city yourself. Marked Man has you surviving a full drive to the finish while enemies hunt you down. Takedowns reward skill and aggression throughout all of it. Cars are unlocked by earning a required number of wins and takedowns with your current vehicle. The Day Tickets expansion is included, adding more events and cars. The game's Big Surf Island DLC adds a separate island area with its own challenge set. Grid Autosport is the closest the Switch has ever gotten to a real, wide-ranging motorsport game. This is a full career racer covering touring cars, endurance, open wheel, tuner, and street disciplines. 5 completely different racing disciplines that each feel distinct in how they handle and what they demand. You sign with teams, earn contracts through strong finishes and teammate relationships, and advance through the ranks of each discipline's season structure. A nemesis system means that if you take out a rival too aggressively, they'll start targeting you in future races. The handling leans toward the simulation side. Without going full hardcore, there's enough weight and grip feedback to reward smooth, deliberate driving without making it punishing for casual players. Technically, the Switch port is impressive, especially in handheld mode. It runs well and includes all the DLC content from the original release. Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled is a full remake of the 1999 original, and it's one of the most technically demanding kart racers you can find on Switch. The boost system is the heart of it. You hold a drift, time 3 power slides in sequence, and release each one to chain boost together. Do it right, and you maintain full speed through every corner. Do it wrong, and everyone else pulls away. The gap between a player who understands the chaining mechanic and one who doesn't is enormous. The original adventure mode returns with full 3D visuals, sending Crash and friends through hub worlds to tackle tracks, boss races, and challenges as part of a proper story, where an alien named Nitro's Oxide threatens to turn the planet into a parking lot if he isn't beaten in a race. Nitro-Fueled expands the roster heavily, adds a Nitro Grand Prix system with limited-time cosmetic content, and includes tracks and characters from the sequel, Crash Nitro Kart. Eight years on, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is still the standard everything else gets measured against. This is the enhanced Switch version of the Wii U original, and it's been updated with the Booster Course Pass 48 additional courses, bringing the total track count to 96. That is an insane amount of content for a single game. The racing itself is tuned to perfection. Drifting, slipstreaming, and item management all reward a player who pays attention, without ever being so complex that a newcomer feels lost. 200 cubic centimeters mode exists for players who've mastered everything else and want a genuinely punishing speed tier that demands real technique. Battle mode was rebuilt from scratch to include multiple arena-style modes, including Balloon Battle, Coin Runners, Bob-omb Blast, Shine Thief, and Renegade Roundup. And that's the 15 best racing games on Switch and Switch 2. Whether you're into kart chaos, underground street racing, or full-on rally stages, this library has something for you. Drop your favorites in the comments, and subscribe if you want more lists like this. See you in the next one!